Hi friends, hey, welcome back to the Expeditionary Johnny channel. Hey, if you're new to my channel, you'll see here that the theme to my channel is to help removing obstacles to getting outdoors. Now, typically that can mean things like time, ideas, or maybe equipment. And today we're going to be talking about concepts toward our equipment. All right, so I split my time between bushcrafting, survival folks, and then also backpackers. I like to find a blend of getting out there to see new adventures, but at the same time having some type of survival skills to make sure I'm okay in case something wrong happens. All right, so today I'm going to show you guys my idea on what I think is a very basic fire kit that's going to work very well for backpackers and day hikers. All right, all I'm going to suggest you carry is a lighter. I think a small ferro rod this size works really well. It throws really good sparks. It's big enough to work with but not take up too much room in your backpack. If you don't carry a good knife that can throw sparks, you can get a little ceramic blade here to throw sparks for you. I also suggest grabbing a couple Vaseline cotton balls, throwing these in one of these little pill bags that you can get at your local pharmacy. And then lastly, we've got this little plastic magnification lens that sits at the bottom of our Altoids can. This is going to be really good at making solar fire. Now obviously you do not have to carry everything in a little Altoids container like this. Me personally, I have a lot of materials up here in my little cash cap. It's also on my keychain, so this stuff's in my pockets already ready to go. But if you're not doing all of that, you can easily put together a little kit like this and then throw it in the bottom of your backpack. No big deal. You're ready to go. All right, now that we've covered the basic items in our little kit, let's go ahead and show how that works well with the things that we normally carry with us for a really good fire plan, okay, for any type of survival situation. So last weekend, I went up to Fontenelle Forest, went out for about a 7-mile hike just for hiking. No recording, anything like that. It was just for me to get in some miles and enjoy nature. So along the way, I just kept running across all kinds of good materials which would be good for primitive fire making. Like here you'll see I went down a valley which was a really wet and slick area, and I ran across this here punkwood. Now what's punkwood? So punkwood basically is wood that's deteriorated enough in a wet condition where it gets really soft and spongy. You know, if you're trying to build anything, you're going to say it's way too rotten. You can't build anything with it. Well, in the bushcraft world, we're going to call it punky because it's going to be really good for turning into char material for future fires. All right, so being a guy that likes to work on his survival skills, I went ahead and grabbed a bit of this and I threw it inside my haversack. So I work my way out of the valley. I get over to the Missouri River and I head south. I'm going down along the Missouri River and I run across some cottonwood trees. And lo and behold, there's some branches and bark on the ground, and I notice right here that it's got both the interior and exterior bark. So I started peeling all of that off, grabbed a good handful or more of this, and I also threw this into my haversack. So if you're anything like me, where you like to go out for a hike and cook, or maybe you're going to do an overnight backpacking trip, you're probably going to bring some type of stove like this here, right, to cook with, or with my personal favorite, the firebox stove. So when thinking about your emergency plan and fire, you got to keep in mind there's a whole lot of fuel in here. You can use this to start up a lot of your fires. Now that's especially true with the firebox stove because it does both twig burning fires and it can also use canister stoves to cook with. Now, if you're thinking of a survival situation, the thing about this burner attachment has a flexible hose, so you can actually place that underneath your twigs and stuff to get several fires started. Well, eventually you might run out of fuel in your canister stove and you might run out of your Vaseline cotton ball. So what do you do then? Well, that's where our punkwood comes into play. So before you run out of your best fuel, you might want to start thinking about emptying out your Altoids container and filling it full of some of this punk wood so you can make charred punk for some of your future fires. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and fill up this Altoids container with some of this punk wood. We're going to make a small fire, and I'm going to make some charred punk, and then I'm going to show you how you make a fire with your charred material. So we take the awl on our Swiss Army knife, take our pocket ferro rod. Oops. Got fire. Just add some twigs. So in normal or survival conditions, I can use this little firebox stove here to cook food. I can boil water with either my nesting cup or my Stanley cook kit. But today we're making char. So let's just take our Altoids container, throw that on the fire. So in about 15 minutes or so, we're gonna have some good char material. So let's give this a bit of time to cook up. All right, so while our char material is cooking up here, let's go ahead and work on our bird's nest for our next fire, which is something to think about. All right, if you do want to be prepared for the what if, please consider a haversack or something like that, because you're going to have to start harvesting materials, whether it's dead grass. In this case, I've got some inner bark for some cottonwood trees. You're going to want to store that, dry it out, and have it ready for the upcoming fires. So I'm just going to kind of shred this up a little bit and make a bird's nest. All right, so we took our char out of the fire. It's cooled off enough to where I can touch it. So I think we're safe to open it up. Let's see what we got here. Bunch of beautiful char, right? Okay. Next step, let's make fire. Typically I put the char in the bird's nest, and then I either take a magnification lens or the ferro rod to light it up. However, this bird's nest is extremely dry, and it'll probably spark up just from the ferro rod. So I want to show you how to use the char today. So I'm going to actually put the char off to the side here. I'm just going to use this base from my firebox stove to hold it. Then we'll dump it into our bird's nest. There it is. We've already got it getting hot. So let's just drop that in our bird's nest. And from here, it's like flint and steel or bow drill, where you just kind of make your bird's nest into like a little taco. You let it heat up the materials. If you have a breeze, let the breeze flow in or breathe into your bird's nest. You can see it's already getting a lot of hot fire. Look at this. This thing's going to go up in flame any second now. Oh, there it is right there. All right, so there you have it. You can see how we can go from having a very basic fire kit in an Altoids container and then use that same container to make yourself some char material for just, I don't know, survival situations, or maybe just having fun making primitive fire. Okay, well, this brings us to the end of another video. Hey, I hope this inspires you to get outdoors and try different things, whether it's making primitive fire, making some char, or in my case, by learning a few basic survival skills that gave me the confidence to go a little bit further, stay out a bit longer, see some things I wouldn't normally be able to see, knowing that with just a little bit of advanced preparation, you're going to be prepared for that what-if scenario. All right, well, with that being said, appreciate everybody, and you guys take care and have a good week. Bye.